Okay, Lori, you did it. Yeah. How? Like a Spider-Man.
That's how you do it.
Hey guys, we're sitting in our car while we're waiting for some laundry to be done on a kind of chilly Arizona day. Hence the stocking cap and the thick sweatshirts.
I always wear my hats.
But yeah, Michelle always has to have her hat on. Doesn't like her hair.
Oh gosh. So we know you guys are probably asking yourselves, why in the heck did they move into a new camper and why so soon? Well, we're going to tell you why in this video.
Alright, the first thing I'm going to say is, if you saw the Cougar, and you remember when you walked in that front, when you walked in the only door that it had, there was a wall literally 2 feet in front of you. You had to go to the left or to the right. You couldn't go straight ahead. Now, with the dog, with rain and weather, that was a huge problem. We just, somebody would have to stay outside getting wet. There was, you know, Lola would go inside and her feet would be all dirty and muddy from walking around in the rain. It was just a constant headache for us to try to get in and out of the trailer. The major plus for us, one of the major pluses, because there's a bunch of them, is the garage slash mudroom. Actually, both doors you can walk straight in and don't have a wall in front of you. So when it's rainy and crappy and muddy, we can get inside the trailer rather quickly without all 5 of us waiting outside. It works really nice.
So our second reason would have to be our kids. I think it's really important for them to still have the space that's required for them because they are still growing like weeds. When we purchased the Cougar, Maddie fit in there rather well. She was a lot smaller than she is now, and I think she hit a growth spurt.
Yep.
So she was getting rather cramped in there, and it was also a pain for me to go up and try to help her tidy up her room because you only had like so much space to make her bed and stuff. So it was kind of hectic. Not that we could live with that type of situation, but it was rather uncomfortable. So that was one of our concerns as we were living in our camper. You know, we've been in there 6 months. Also, when we go back to Minnesota, we want to pick up Mason and, you know, maybe his girlfriend and stuff and have them come stay with us. And he is super tall. You know, he's taller than I am. And the pull-out beds that were in the Cougar were more like toddler size pull-out beds, I would say.
They say they're full, and they may be close to full, but they don't support the weight of a teenager.
Yeah, and we had checked them out when we looked in the camper. We're like, oh, they'll be fine and stuff, but they weren't. It didn't work. And they're pretty cheap too, so they tend to lay in one spot, so it would start caving in, and the foam cushions are cheap, and yeah, they just weren't very durable.
No, not at all. And on that same note, reason number 3 is the garage and the 2 beds that are back there. One up on top, but the one on top and then the one underneath is a couch, but you can also put that to a bed. But the possibilities of remodeling that garage are endless. Whether we turned it into a room slash workspace, a room slash school space, whether we keep it the same. I mean, there's just so many different ways that we can do that back room to make it more functional for this lifestyle. We don't have any toys. We're not planning on getting any toys anytime soon. This was strictly about the use of space in the trailer. Now I'm going to combine these next two into one. Even though they are two separate things, we're going to put it as one. And fortunately today we were able to test it out, so I'm able to give you a little bit of knowledge. This trailer came with a solar panel and 2 batteries. And it also came with a built-in generator. So our plan eventually is to do a lot more boondocking than we have done. We realized when we boondock at Carlsbad, it was awesome, we enjoyed it, we loved the time, but the generator, having that external generator, having to go out in the morning and plug it in, turn it on, actually turn it on, then plug it in, and then when you want to shut it off, go back out, unplug it, then shut it off. It wasn't the best scenario for boondocking, you know, frequently. So this has a built-in generator. You can press a button from the inside, it turns the generator on, and you've got full power. You can power everything in your trailer. It's got a 30-gallon unleaded fuel tank in the trailer. Don't know how long that will last. I'm sure it depends on, you know, how many appliances you're running and that kind of stuff. But then the coolest thing that it has, in my opinion, that will get us ready for boondocking is the solar panel. So it's already got one solar panel, a 2,000 watt inverter, and then 2 batteries. So today we unhooked the power, we tested the generator, made sure everything worked, and then we turned the generator off and we ran on solar for about 2 hours. It handled TVs, charging, showers, the water heater, the fridge, Brady's game.
Yeah, it handled a lot.
It handled everything with just that one panel and the 2 batteries. We never dipped below 70% battery left. So it was working rather well.
I don't know how long term you can go boondocking with one panel.
Well, yeah, I don't think it would. It may last overnight depending on how much we use, but I don't think it would be enough for, you know, coffee and that kind of stuff in the morning with just one panel. Actually, the other cool thing is they put the 2 batteries behind the propane tanks, so the actual battery bank is completely empty. And I'll show you this when we do the RV tour, but we have a spot for another 3 batteries, so we can have a total of 5 batteries without having to build anything special.
So yeah, that was really important for us. Ultimately, in making this decision, is that we'll be a little more prepped for boondocking. At least we can start, because we are really anxious to go boondocking some more, but we need to be fully prepared, and we weren't before. So that was a huge factor in our decision process. So in the beginning, we did tour a couple toy haulers, but I kind of thought they were interesting, but Blake said no right off the bat, because he's like, we don't need toys and stuff. So, and we didn't really envision having that space, you know, being able to convert that space into something useful. So we just kind of left and
we didn't even
consider it.
Yeah, wasn't even on the radar.
Yeah. If only we had the knowledge of what we know now back then, we would have saved a heck of a ton of money. So that being said, yeah, we didn't even consider it, but touring our neighbor's camper, having that deck when we went in, really opened up our eyes to, like, wow, what we could do with this space and how much more convenient all the space was in their camper. Really helped.
But another major plus of a toy hauler is the deck. When we toured our neighbor's toy hauler at our last campground, they had their deck open and they have a little tent thing, but the amount of space that adds to that room, the openness feeling, if that's saying correctly, it was just amazing. Being able to have that deck down, go outside, lift up the screen, come inside. I mean, you can sit the 4 chairs out there, you can sit, lay out in the sun. First 2 days after we got it, the weather was decent, so we were able to have the back deck down. The kids were out there so much more than they've been outside. Even Brady was off his game and his phone, sitting out on the deck enjoying the weather. And it has a nice fence around it, and then there's a door with stairs that go off the back. So it's it's a huge plus. We might not get to use it a whole lot in the Arizona winter when it's 50s, but as soon as that temperature hits 60 and the sun is out, it was amazing.
We had it down for three
it was
3
60,
days.
basically 60, but sunny. We were out there in t-shirts and athletic pants.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome. Love it.
Having that extra space and that openness when the weather is decent.
That was another thing, didn't mean to interrupt you, but that was another thing with Lola. We didn't like to have her just go sit outside either, so she's able to be outside without having to be without our supervision. Not that she needs it all the time, but she can just chill out there and be outside watching stuff.
Can't get down and chase people or rabbits or birds or anything like that.
Yeah, and she just stay out on the deck and lay down, and so it was really nice pet-wise also.
And I do want to touch on what I was going to say is there are options to have that back deck open even more. As I said, our neighbors, they have the tent that you can put up. It's like a blow-up tent, and it keeps it rather nice. And then there's also the option, and I'm not 100% sure if you can buy it aftermarket. If anybody knows, leave it down in the comments below. But the 3-season doors. We had a different neighbor that had a toy hauler, and he had those 3-season doors. He's able to leave their deck down all the time and have those doors with a curtain, and it kept it nice and toasty there in the back of their toy hauler. So let us know if you're able to buy those anywhere aftermarket. Otherwise, I'll probably have to go to a dealer and try to see if I can get some.
So other than the garage space area, we also have more room in our bedroom area to walk around our bed, because I don't know if you've seen in any of our videos, our space was like this small, and so we had to kind of shimmy our way to crawl into bed. It was kind of awkward. And with the Cougar, we did have decent storage in there. With the new camper, we did lose some storage, but also we gained some storage, if that makes sense. We lost storage in our closet area, but we gained storage under our bed.
In the Cougar, there was only about this much space underneath the bed due to the electric slide for the bed going out, so it wasn't like most campers where you can lift up the bed and have this huge space underneath. Well, now we have that in the Carbon.
Yep, and we have fit almost everything that we did where we had to shove it elsewhere in the Cougar. It's a different setup, it's a different layout, but it works so much better, so much more easier for Blake especially, because he's so tall. He has more room to maneuver around. We're able to access the bathroom from 2 doors.
There's actually more room in the bathroom too.
Yeah.
You can almost fully get dressed in the bathroom versus before you kind of have to
You have to kind of
squeeze out of the bathroom.
So yeah, it was really, you had to kind of get creative how you did everything. So yeah, we had more privacy and more space in that sense. And then kitchen wise, do you have anything to say about the kitchen?
No, I
We
think
lost another couch.
we lost a couch, but we gained a longer one. It's got heated
comfortable.
and massage and seats, which Madison and I have called.
They're all recliners.
Yep. I think we have overall more kitchen storage. It's just not as big. So like our Instapot doesn't fit anywhere in there. So there's some unique challenges with that. And then
I have to use a step stool. Me and Maddie.
The ceiling is really high, so yeah, she does have to use a step stool to get to the top shelves. And then along with storage, since it's on my mind, storage for the kids' clothes. Right now we just ended up getting some plastic drawers until we figure out exactly how we're going to redo the back.
Yeah.
We want to live in the trailer for at least six months before we make any decisions on any remodels.
Yeah.
So we figured we didn't want to waste money and go get a dresser, because you could put a dresser in the back. It would fit, but why spend that money, if we're going to do something totally different 6 months down the road. Overall, I mean, it's only been a little over a week since we've had the trailer, but 90% more pleased than the Cougar, if that makes sense. You know, there's about 10% of things that I like better in the Cougar, but overall, this is way better.
We got a Carbon, we didn't tell you guys the brand we got. We got a Carbon 347.
Yep.
And it's 2018.
Yep, slightly used. They had it out about 4 times out boondocking with toys, but there was no tire marks on the back, no oil or anything like that. So, I mean, for the most part, that's in pretty decent condition.
Yep.
All right, before we let you go, I do want to say, for those that have never lived in a travel trailer, I think the whole, any type of RV or anything like that, I think the whole process of buying a trailer for us was a little overwhelming. I think, you know, we ended up, we liked the Cougar, don't get us wrong, but I think we ended up trying to get what home felt like, and tried to live up to having a home expectation, you know, with a fireplace and couches and separate living areas and all that kind of stuff. And as we've been out on the road now, I think we realize that having the comforts of home isn't really going to get you what you want. You need more functionality than the comforts of home.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yep. So anybody traveling with kids, pets, anything like that, we definitely recommend a toy hauler right now. We're so happy that we made this decision. It was kind of a last minute thing, but as you saw in our last video, if you watched it, our neighbors really truly inspired us with their setup, and their lifestyle was similar to ours. So we're like, hey, this is kind of what we need and what we want right now. So we took that plunge, and we're happy we did.
Oh yeah, big time.
Well, we gotta get back to laundry and editing this video, so we'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, let's just get into it.
But we thought we'd sit down and tell you and explain to you why we moved last week.
Don't do that.
What?
Look at me right away, like you want me to key in. Okay, let me think.
Well,
I don't like it recorded. So we know in this video. What? Do you know I cut it off now?
It's like this much space. Shimmy.
Under our bed.
Okay, hold on. You didn't very well say what you were thinking in your head. You said our closet was really big, but we did lose some space.
Okay.
You gotta like expand.
Okay. Also with our room, we did have a nice big closet. And with the Cougar, we did have a big closet. And with the Cougar, we did have we had